Hey everybody, how's it going? BFA is slowly coming to an end, and what better time than now to start farming up gold in preparation for Shadowlands. Now I've said this before, and if you've happened to watch some of my previous videos, you will have noticed from the quality of my content that I am a lazy piece of shit. So with that thought in mind, I wondered if it's possible to casually farm up a whole bunch of gold without much effort or thought put into it. And so I've set up the goal to see if I can at least reach the cost of a WoW token in a single month, and the results are pretty good if you don't play on Chinese servers. Jesus fucking Christ. On my server, Emerald Dream EU, the token is only 172k, much more manageable. So let's see what we can do without straining too far from your weekly routine in WoW and without putting too much brain power into it. First up, there are the weekly assaults in Uldum and Vale of Eternal Blossoms. The caches for completing the assaults give you 2k gold each, and they are also important for your character's main progression through patch 8.3, as they also give coalescing visions and corrupted mementos for horrific visions, and also echoes of Ny'alotha in case you need to purchase some instances on alts. Sometimes I've been getting war resources instead of gold. I think it's random, which is kind of a bummer, but it's still a win because you can purchase your Seals of Fate with them, which will help you save up gold. Never use gold to purchase your seals, it's a waste of money. The dailies in these areas also give a little bit of gold. If you do them throughout the week, they probably add up to somewhere between 1 to 2k gold, but they're kind of a bigger time investment than the assaults themselves and really boring, so I just ignore them. Next up are emissaries. They occasionally give 2000 gold as reward for completing one of them, so that's great, but more importantly they give reputation. It's a pretty nice system they've added since Legion. If you get to Exalted with one of the reputations in BFA, you then have an additional bar to fill of 10,000 reputation. If you do fill it up, you get a cachet from the quartermaster of said reputation, which will have between 3 to 5,000 gold and some war resources in it. Especially now with the 100% reputation buff, it's well worth investing some time into doing these because they will add up over time. But if you can't really be bothered to do world quests every day, like I am, then you can just do all emissaries once every 3 days. That works well enough for me, along with the occasional things that give rep with the 7th Legion, because that's the most lucrative one out of all of them. I don't know the name of the Horde equivalent, but it's the guys from the war campaign that have world quests on the opposing faction side of the map. They're by far the easiest to fill up the bar, because not only can you get an emissary for them, but incursions also give rep with them. The weekly quest for islands does as well, the Warfront quest does too, as well as having the most zones dedicated for world quests, 3 from the opposing faction, and also Darkshore and Arathi. Besides 7th Legion, the next most lucrative reputation would probably be Mechagon. They don't have an emissary at all, or anything else special for gaining reputation. In fact, they only have a few dailies and one world quest, but that one world quest is also daily and gives way more reputation than a normal quest does. Not only that, but the zone is really small and compact, so if it's a quest to loot 6 chests or kill 3 rares, you can be done with it in only a couple of minutes per day. It literally takes longer to get to the island. Of course, if the world quest asks me to complete activities in Mechagon, that means doing other quests, which is way more time consuming and requires brain power. Fuck that, just ignore it for the day. I've mentioned island expeditions earlier, and if you complete the weekly cap, you can also get an item that will give you a mission on the mission table, which will then give you 5,000 gold if you successfully complete it. So that's also great to keep in mind, but it's random. It can also either give you AP or Titan Residuum. So all of this is pretty nice so far. It's all usual stuff you'd be doing in BFA anyway, and in really good weeks you can go up to 20 to 30,000 gold. However, during bad weeks where you get no gold from emissaries, you have all your reps freshly reset, no gold from the island's mission, and no gold from assaults, you literally have a dead week with 0 gold. But that should be a pretty rare occasion, and besides all of this, there is one more thing you can very easily do with little to no brain power, and that is legacy content. I already know it was pretty lucrative since I've done it in past expansions, but I was surprised at how well off you can get from them. So I've started with clearing the expansions one by one on the highest difficulty available from Warlords and going down from there. A Legion is also doable up to a certain point, but once again it requires some time investment and brain power, and you already know my policy on that. Clearing raids from WoD on mythic difficulty and vendoring all items gave me a total of about 7.1k gold. Nice. After that I went into MOP and did Siege of Orgrimmar on mythic and the rest of everything else on heroic and got a total of 8.2k gold. Really nice. Then I went and did all Cataclysm raids on heroic and I got 4.9k out of it. Not so nice. From Cataclysm downwards, the value of items really drops, and the gaps between raids and bosses just keeps widening and widening, so it takes you longer and longer to fly between them. I didn't time my runs, but a rough rough guesstimate of what it took me to clear these 3 expansions is somewhere around 7 to 8 hours, maybe even going up to 10. I didn't really go at full speed and took a lot of breaks, but still that's quite a lot of time, and the more expansions you add to your farm, the more time investment goes up and you also get less and less gold for it. But then I remembered you can also re-clear some of these raids on different difficulties since legacy raid load is applied. This only works on raids starting from Siege of Orgrimmar and upwards. Don't ask me why it doesn't work on the rest, I don't know why, but it would still be a waste of time on them anyway. I did all raids in WoD Heroic and got 7k gold out of it, and another run on normal and got 6.8k. And if I were to recommend anything out of these, I'd just tell you to do WoD on all difficulties and nothing else. You get around 21k gold per week, and if you stack up on movement speed potions and learn your way around the raids and how to get to them, you could probably wrap things up in about 2 hours, maybe even less. Do all of this on, let's say, 3 characters tops, which is pretty reasonable, and you will be pumping upwards of 60k gold per week. No stress, no challenge, no professions, no gathering, no add-ons, no brain, no nothing. Just
Pure, unadulterated
laziness. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps. See you next time. Bye.